Duration. Now, the duration of the pageant was only for 10 days. Not even minor pageants have a 10-day duration. Most of the pageants are at least 2 to 3 weeks long. So for Miss Universe, to have a pageant in Atlanta for only 10 days just raises eyebrows because people start thinking now, where are your funds, Miss Universe? Why aren't we seeing quality production? Hey guys, this is Tita Lavinia from Titas of Pageantry. Did you miss me? Because I am so back. Now, I have my own channel and this is going to be our new tambayan. I just want to thank you guys for following and for subscribing and for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. I think it's no secret to everyone that I've been doing YouTube videos for more than a year, and it's no secret that I have been monetizing my contents on YouTube. So for me to start from scratch means that I have to fulfill two requirements for monetization. One is to reach 1,000 subscribers and the other one is to fulfill the number of viewing hours. So thank you to you. At least I only have one requirement to fulfill. I know it will take time, but at least the number of subscribers is already out of the way. I do have quite a number of plans for this channel. It's just that for now everything is temporary, but we will be improving. Hopefully, I will let you decide if you want me to continue speaking in English or if you want us to go back to our previous arrangement and have more exclusive setup for the Filipino fans. So let me know. Before I go into the nitty-gritty of Miss Universe, since a lot of you are still asking, even if the winner has been making the rounds at Media Week, yes, I will continue to give you a review of Miss Universe 2019. But before that, I also want to thank my mother who has been very supportive. She lives in Tokyo. And also her friend, Yoshida Seishi-san. Genki desu ka? Shigoto ganbatte kudasai. And itsumo arigato gozaimasu. Diba? Naghahapon. Thank you also to my boyfriend Ron. I don't get to mention him all the time, but he did this setup. He hustled so that I could have something presentable for you guys. So there, let's go now to Miss Universe. I actually have a cheat sheet because unfortunately I cannot memorize everything, but these are the talking points that I would like to discuss for this episode. Let's talk about some of the red flags of Miss Universe because they actually announced the date and the venue quite late. So late, in fact, that a lot of the friends and families of those who wanted to watch just couldn't because, first of all, the tickets got sold out almost immediately because of the small venue. The second was that, of course, for some people, getting the requirements to travel isn't that easy. It really took time. So the announcement of Miss Universe was not the most ideal. Duration. Now, the duration of the pageant was only for 10 days. Not even minor pageants have a 10-day duration. Most of the pageants are at least 2 to 3 weeks long. So for Miss Universe, to have a pageant in Atlanta for only 10 days just raises eyebrows because people start thinking now, where are your funds, Miss Universe? Why aren't we seeing quality production just like what we did or just like what we experienced in Bangkok, Thailand last year, where they had fabulous sets, fabulous activities, fabulous production, lighting, performers, even the soundtrack was fabulous. So there you go. Production-wise, at the Tyler Perry Studios, actually it wasn't that bad. It was pretty decent. Whatever they did to the stage to make it look larger, I think they were pretty successful with that. They used a lot of mirrors, they used a lot of technical lighting to make it appear as grand as it could. Although if you look into the audience view, it was only one level. So if you're like 5 feet tall like me, I'm pretty sure you won't be able to get the premium view you paid for. More unfortunate were the audiences from the back. I don't know if you noticed, but there were audiences at the back. So if they had paid for those tickets, I'm pretty sure they were upset by mostly seeing girls from their sides or their backside. I just don't get the logic why you would have an audience at the back. I don't know. Let's talk about the performer, Ali Brooke. I wasn't really so happy with Ali Brooke performing, not because I am averse to her, it's just that I didn't feel the performance to be as snappy. It was really, really snappy when they incorporated some of the cultural identity of Thailand last year with, you know, more modern songs. But with the production this time, it was just really, I don't know, forgettable. Yeah, it was pretty forgettable. And add in the fact that she actually butchered Selena's song, so ouch. Steve Harvey as a host. This is Steve Harvey's 4th year as a host, and I feel that it's time to move on. I know that he has a 5-year contract, if I'm not mistaken, so we might still see him next year, but I feel that Steve Harvey is a brilliant comedian. It's just that when he goes into serious mode as a host, because he has to be extra careful, because he still carries the baggage from 2015, it doesn't work. Whatever rapport he has with some of the girls who are not native English speakers, it just sounded awkward. Whatever that weird interaction was, yeah, it looked pretty weird. So even the backstage correspondents, who I really love, Vanessa Manillo and Olivia Culpo, who I really thought was, you know, really nice to go back to Miss Universe after, you know, years of not mentioning Miss Universe at all in whatever stint she had. I was really happy to see her back. Unfortunately, she did not have any chemistry with Vanessa. They just seemed to be reading off of a script. There weren't they didn't really have a genuine connection, I felt. I don't know with you guys. I don't even know if they're friends. Maybe they're not. Maybe they just met that day, so I don't know. But I'm really happy that Paulina Vega was part of the judging panel as well, because just like Olivia Culpo, Paulina carved out a modeling career on her own without really mentioning a lot of Miss Universe. So for her to be invited and for her to say yes, I thought it was a really nice gesture to really look back and go back to her roots. So there. Was I happy with the whole female judging panel? At first, it was a revolutionary idea, but for 2019, I wish that they could have included, I don't know, maybe a really fabulous gay man. I don't know why they keep on alienating the men. I know this is supposed to have something to do with empowerment and just being really strong, but yeah, there are a lot of men out there who know what they're talking about, who know what they're looking for without being really sleazy about it. So yeah, I wish they included others. So yeah, a straight man, a gay man, I wish it had been more inclusive. So there. So let's go into the selection of the top 20 girls. I think you already know what happened. I know a lot of us are hurting, but let's cut to the chase. Asia, Pacific, and Africa, we have South Africa. There was no surprise there. Indonesia has been very aggressive, so no surprise there as well. Surprise for Vietnam, but it was a happy surprise because we really wanted a follow-up to Henny's amazing feat last year. I was pretty surprised with Nigeria. I did not see that coming, but I initially thought maybe from the African region they would have Kenya or maybe Tanzania or maybe Equatorial Guinea, who I thought did really well during prelims. And of course we had Asia Pacific. For the Asia Pacific group, we had Thailand. So when Thailand was called, we were really crushed, because to be called in the wild card position, because that was our only hope at that time, meant that, you know, you kind of would lose your momentum if you were a candidate. A lot of us would remember Rachel Peters being a bit whiplashed for not being called within her continental group. So I think that was what happened to Gazzini, but more on Gazzini later on. For Europe, most of the girls that we liked from Europe were able to get in, like Albania, France, despite her fall, Iceland, which was a really happy surprise, and Croatia, who I was really happy that they were able to recognize for her very unique features. Portugal was also a surprise, but that's fine, because with Europe, actually anything goes. We are actually pretty lucky with Europe, because most of the girls who got in were the girls we were really familiar with. The one girl that did not get in, which was really surprising for us, was Ireland, who I thought looked really amazing, had an amazing body, amazing wardrobe, and a meaty resume. Unfortunately, she wasn't styled the best during the 10-day stint in Atlanta. Other positives that I would like to note as well, before I move on to the Americas, was that at least the social media team of Miss Universe this year were more interactive. They had more contents for the social media fans out there, looking out for more photos and more videos. So they also had Fadil on board, so it was nice to have the portraits taken by Fadil. I'm sure the girls appreciated that. I just hope that they had individually posted these photos instead of putting them in a collage. So there. Moving into the Americas, which is a, as you know, a very, very competitive region. You had Puerto Rico, which was no surprise. Peru, which was a happy surprise for me, because it's always difficult for Peru to get in, especially when your alphabetical position also is with some of the strongest girls in the competition, usually Philippines, Paraguay, Panama, Puerto Rico, and they can't just get all of the letter P's. So I'm happy that they were able to recognize Peru, because she looked really beautiful in an old school pageant sort of way. And then we have Dominican Republic and Mexico, who I was not rooting for, to be very honest with you, but I was just really so happy to be proven wrong with Mexico. And of course, USA. Noticeably absent from this continental grouping were Osmel's girls from Argentina and Uruguay. Now, for the wild card position, thank God they called Gazzini first. Otherwise, the ratings would have really dropped very early on. So they called Gazzini from the Philippines, Venezuela, and the three really recognizable girls this edition: India, Brazil, and then Colombia. So we were in good company. So there. If it were just up to me, I really hope that Chile would have gotten that spot, and also Bangladesh, even Japan, because I really liked the three of them. So just to address this one quickly, because a lot of people were like saying Gazzini did not make it into top 10 because she buckled during her top 20 opening speech. To be honest with you, I don't think that was the case, because the opening speech for me seemed to be a really shallow basis to pick the 10 girls who would advance. My theory is that they already have a list for the top 20 girls and a short list for the top 10 girls going into the competition that they computed all of the scores from evening gown, swimwear, prelims, as well as the in-depth closed-door interview. I think that was what they were calling it. So I felt that even if Gazzini aced swimwear and evening gown, and even if she did not commit any mistakes during the Q&A, the closed-door Q&A session, I felt that maybe if you're one of the earlier girls who interviewed and you still had like what 80 to 90 girls waiting to be interviewed, chances are your high score, which let's say is an average score, would continue going down as more and more girls get interviewed. Now, I don't know if that's an accurate observation, because I really don't think that France, whose opening statement had more to do with like a personal anecdote, was stronger than, say, Gazzini, who I know memorized her speech, but Gazzini, who talked mostly about her advocacy on the elderly. And I also don't think it had something to do with her advocacy not being in line with what is happening in the United States. I just really feel that it had something to do with the cumulative scores that the girls got from their preliminary performances. So there you go. So going into top 10, we have USA, Colombia, we have Puerto Rico, South Africa, Peru, Iceland, France, Indonesia, Thailand, and Mexico. And if you notice, we were in good company as well. The Philippines did not get through. Brazil did not get through, which was heartbreaking for the Brazilians. And of course, Vartika Singh, that beautiful Indian, also did not get through. So I'm just saying we're not the only ones who got really heartbroken. So there you go. I'm not going to go into details about the swimsuit and the evening gown performances, because honestly, there was really nothing to really pull from. Most of the girls just walked from point A to point B. There wasn't really a lava gown moment. But I will commend two girls who did really well. Puerto Rico, Madison Berrios, during swim, she was able to give us a show the same way that we felt, you know, in the previous years. Madison knows how to work the audience, she knows how to work her body, and she knows what the old school pageant people are looking for, and she was able to deliver. Her S lines were flawless, her strides were long, and she had the classic beauty pageant training. Now for evening gown, I would really give that award to Miss Mexico. First of all, she had a beautiful gown, but more than anything else, her passerella and her perfect twirl was just a sight to behold. It was just unfortunate that the stage seemed a little dark for the camera to really capture that flawless turn. So there. Moving into top 5. So for top 5, they chose Mexico, Thailand, Colombia, Puerto Rico, South Africa. During the question and answer portion, Mexico was asked about her thoughts on protesting. She had two parts in her answer. Actually, the first part was already good enough, but maybe she was overthinking at that time and felt that there was a need to add to what she had previously said, making some of the words more redundant. But whatever it was that she answered was good. It was also very appropriate. I just wish that she would have cut the second part of her answer so that she could just come up with a shorter, stronger answer. Next is Thailand. Now, at first, I wasn't impressed with Thailand's answer. She was asked to choose which one is more important, security or privacy. But when I rewatched the footages yesterday, I became more convinced that her answer was actually correct. But her question was difficult, not just for the sake of being difficult, but because Fasai is from Thailand. You know, the people in Thailand, they cannot just answer these things freely or these types of questions freely because the setup in Thailand is really very different. You cannot just criticize the government or its policies. It's not that easy for them to answer a question that does not apply to them mostly. So on that note, I commend her for answering, for keeping her composure, but do I feel like it was winnable? Maybe not, because we still want to have something of an impact. We still want the drama factor. We still want answers that sound right, that are correct, but can work well in a barangay beauty pageant setting. So there. Colombia was a little bit of a disappointment for me because as a lawyer, I felt that she would have, you know, she could have shown more passion in her delivery. And now, I know she used an interpreter to talk about what was the challenges on women's reproductive health, but just based on how she delivered it in Spanish, it was just so nonchalant that I was really expecting something more powerful for a Colombian lawyer like her. Puerto Rico, I felt, was asked a really simple and a really easy question on social media, and I feel that this is easy because this is something that we keep on asking each other and we keep on asking the girls. I think she was able to answer of course the question nicely, but for her it wasn't more of reaching a middle ground between freedom and regulation. It was more like a witch hunt or a hunt to those bashers or perpetrators of negativity online. So I don't know if that was even the best position, but she looked fabulous. South Africa, I felt, started gaining momentum right after the top 5 interview because she was asked a really easy question about climate change. Now, I find that this is an easy question because being from the Philippines, we are saturated with questions regarding the environment. As you know, we are we have a pageant in the Philippines, Miss Earth. This is something that we support. This is also something that we have followed in the local setting. So we understand how important it is to be really firm when it comes to talking about the environment. And I think that South Africa did the right thing by saying that it's a responsibility not just by the government, but by really pushing for climate change awareness in a more inclusive manner. So when they chose the top 3, it was really no surprise that they chose Mexico, South Africa, and Puerto Rico, the 3 strongest girls when it came to Q&A. Now, we all know the result of South Africa winning, first runner-up Puerto Rico, and second runner-up Mexico. But what I would like to also address was, if you noticed, there was no final look wherein, you know, they would just parade around and looking really pretty, but they just started putting a premium on the speaking capacity of the girls. Now, do I think that this is a snooze fest? Yes, I honestly think this is a snooze fest because as much as they want to steer the direction of Miss Universe into something that's more relevant, I think they forgot the fact that this is still an entertainment show. We don't want an oral gymnastics. We understand that they are in a direction of picking more of a spokesperson rather than a model, rather than a really glamorous individual, but it's a beauty pageant. We still need a little bit of the shallowness of what beauty pageants were in the past. So for us to watch a 3 or a 2-hour show on just talking, then I don't know, maybe they should just write an essay. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you like this setup? Are you even happy with the setup of having just all talk? Because I thought that it was just a waste of time to continue talking if you've already established who you're looking for. And like what I said in my previous Chichi at Titas of Pageantry, never has Miss Universe been this more transparent when it comes to the winning formula. Before, the norm was just to have a pretty face and to have like safe answers, but this time around it's mostly about having, you know, a powerful presence, powerful statements. So is this something that we could get used to? Maybe, but if Miss Universe is turning into Miss America, then they may have more of a problem ahead when it comes to exposure and when it comes to viewers. So I don't know, guys. These are just my personal opinions on what happened or what transpired during Miss Universe 2019. I have no reservations for South Africa winning. I don't even care if it's a sandwich victory for South Africa, because I just feel like at least now I know that in Miss Universe it really doesn't matter as long as you're a deserving winner. Despite the nasty rumors of favoritism, of mothers paying vloggers, of judges training a girl, despite all of these rumors, I felt that the crown was placed on the head of the right girl. Whether you like the girl or not, she was really the deserving winner that night. So please stay tuned for my Gazzini video. Let's go ahead and really check on more of Gazzini. But for now, please comment down below what are your thoughts, and yeah, let me know if you're excited. Thank you so much. Again, thank you for supporting me. Please comment down below. Don't forget to hit click, subscribe, and that bell notification button. Everything is still so muddled up with my spiel, so we'll get there. Thank you, guys.